Hi everyone, this is Sheila with Successful Women Talk, and thanks for joining in. Hey, today's interview or chat is with special guest Jill McKeever. Now, Jill is the pro blogger owner of Simple Daily Recipes. Great website. It's a fun website. It's a very practical website for those of us that are not chefs or the most amazing cooks. She's got some interesting videos, recipes, etc. But she stays busy, very busy. She is a homeschooling mom of 2 kids, runs this very successful business / blog, and she's going to share her story with us. She's going to talk about how she blogs, her scheduling for blogging, how she does that when she's both in the mode of school with her teaching with her kiddos or when they're out for the summer. We talk about some of the technologies that she uses and some of the things she has coming up for her blog, and talks about some tips and tricks for somebody maybe thinking about starting a blog or starting a business. So hope you enjoy the interview. Please don't forget to leave us your comment at the end and let us know what you thought. Thanks a lot and enjoy. Hi everyone, my name is Sheila Butler and I am the host of Successful Women Talk, and I am excited to be here today with Jill McKeever. Now, Jill is the pro blogger, owner, founder of SimpleDailyRecipes.com, which is a family-friendly food blog full of menu ideas for the very busy family on the go. So welcome, Jill.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you. So tell us a little bit. I kind of always start out with everybody. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your history, how you got involved in the current business that you're in, how you started blogging, etc.
Well, I don't want to tell you my whole life story. That we don't have that much time, but I am a stay-at-home homeschool mom, and I've been doing that since 2007, 2006, and that's a great thing. And and the way I got started in blogging is I had been surfing the internet. I love surfing the internet for recipes. And so I found myself in this place where I could find these really great sounding recipes, but they wouldn't have a picture to go with them. And I love having a picture with the recipe so I could see if I really want to make it or not. Or I had that choice at the time, or you'd see these pictures of this beautiful food, but my kids weren't going to touch it with a 10-foot pole. So I said, okay, we need to have, there needs to be a place where I can have a picture and real food at the same time. And so, my web developing husband said, well, why don't you just start your own blog and be your own resource? And I thought, okay. So he set me up and got my blog started, and I just took off from there. And that was June of 2007. So this year, Simple Daily Recipes this month, Simple Daily Recipe turns 5 years old.
Wow, congratulations on the 5-year anniversary.
Thank you.
I like that, how you say, well, he just said, hey, start a blog, and I just kind of went with it.
Yeah.
I like that. I love your concept, and it makes so much sense to me about having photos, because I'm not a good cook. I'm a decent cook. I'm learning to cook. We cook at home. We're a cook-at-home family. But so I have to find photos. So when I look for a recipe, as soon as I look up whatever it is that I'm going to prepare that night, then I immediately go over to Google Images.
Yeah.
Because if the photo looks good and looks like something I could do, and then there are some that look really bad, so then I feel pretty good about myself. So I can just go, I think I can do that.
Yeah.
So I think that really makes it, and it makes a difference.
Yeah, I have a friend that when she's choosing cookbooks, she will not buy a cookbook that doesn't have a picture to the recipes, which is interesting. So every recipe on my blog has a photo.
And your photos are great. And I'll give you a good example. I was doing some research on you last night, and my son was sitting beside me, and I think I was on your Facebook page, and I was scrolling down, and you had a lot of photos of your blender with fruits and veggies and stuff. You were going to make smoothies. Yep. And so he goes, Mommy, stop. And I said, what? And he goes, go back up. And he's 3.5. So I went back up, and he's like, ooh, I want one of those. So he even understood.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, the smoothies. Yeah, I've really had a lot of fun with those because I've turned my family on to smoothies in the morning instead of just the regular breakfast, and kind of gets me out of baking muffins in the morning. And so I've just been making these power smoothies, and I thought, well, I'm doing this every day, and it's pretty simple. So I thought, let me just go ahead and post it on Facebook and just see what people think. And so I just kind of started calling them Monday's smoothie and Tuesday's smoothie. I've gotten a lot of response from that. And I didn't think it would, but it does. And so it's fun to see my kids are, totally getting into the smoothies. And I've been able to like turn my daughter on to eating spinach, which she would never touch spinach. But I've been able to, I can put it in a strawberry banana smoothie. And she's like, okay, I can drink it. It's all right. You can put it in my smoothie if you want to. So
it's really good.
It's been it's a great way to get your kids to eat things they wouldn't normally eat. So.
Exactly, which is not always easy.
No.
Now let's go back. You said you've been doing this for 5 years. So you started out blogging, didn't know much about blogging. You started on WordPress, I assume?
Yes. Did we start? Yeah, I think we did.
Start on WordPress?
Yeah.
And then so how often did you post? I mean, how did you get into the flow of that?
Well, okay, so at the time, being June, the kids, we weren't homeschooling. So, for the summer here, I was able to do it every day. I mean, I didn't have anything else to do. So I would just blog every day and, through the guidance of my husband and just learning what to do, content was key. And so that's what I started doing. I just started filling it up with content, and that was what I was supposed to do. So that's what I did. And I had to remember that and keep in mind the whole time that I didn't have an audience. I mean, there was nobody reading my blog, and I just had to remember that it was going to take time to build up this image that I had and of what Simple Daily Recipes was going to be about. So that took some imagination. I mean, sitting there writing every day, and not just one time a day, but I mean, I would just write all day long and schedule everything out, and then know that there's nobody there. So I would have to imagine that there was somebody on the other side who really cared about what I was doing, and I was writing to them, and that helped a lot because I mean, I did that for like 6 months before I had my first comment. It was just you just kind of had to. It was lonely, but I did it.
That's fantastic advice because I think, from what I've heard is that people usually start blogging and no one's there. And it sounds like crickets and no one's paying attention. No one's commenting. So they normally stop, and they usually stop about 6 months in. They don't get past that 6 months, or they don't get past that year. And it is hard because no one knows you're out there.
Yeah, it is. It's lonely, but it takes, if you're telling your friends and your family about it, it takes a lot of encouragement. You just got to keep on going and just keep in mind what you're doing.
Right.
Why you're doing, what is it that you want what do you want it to look like at the end or, on your way. So.
Right. So so you said your family, and then when you got that first blog comment, I can't imagine how excited you probably were. Like, oh, someone knows I'm out there.
Yeah. And it was another blogger, so it was good.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
There's somebody to connect to.
Now, so how did you share your blog info? How did you share your content? Did you do social media sites at that time, or just basically word of mouth?
I've been blessed. Google has blessed me a lot, and so Google's been very helpful. And I got onto Facebook as soon as I learned about it, so that was helpful to to be able to share recipes on Facebook and talk over there. So it's just been a slow progression, and getting to know other people that are in the same world I am online. So getting to know other food bloggers, that helped a lot. I mean, you chat on their blog, they come over and chat on yours, and you just kind of start creating this community. So I really knew a lot of other food bloggers than I had like just everyday readers. Today that's flipped. I have over 100,000 visitors to my site, and they're all real people. They're real readers, and I've got grandmothers raising their children, and I've got newlyweds learning to cook. I mean, I've got the whole gamut there, and it's a thrill to be able to help them, figure out what's going to be for dinner.
Yeah, that's very exciting. So you said you use Facebook a lot, and I also noticed that you're doing quite a few videos. So how have videos impacted your business, and why and how did you start that?
Okay, that is so much fun. So I think one of the things that you and I share in common is we'd rather look at the picture, or I love cooking shows. I mean, I just love cooking shows. I love to watch cooking shows. And so I know how much I gain from watching somebody else do it. And so it took kind of a leap for me, because I had to realize that if I wanted to show people how to cook, that means I'd have to get in front of the camera, and I'm usually behind the camera taking pictures of food. So I thought, I don't know if I can do this or not. Well, it turns out, and I knew this about myself, that I'm really a ham. So it's not that hard to get in front of the camera, but I just started with my iPhone. I mean, I didn't have anything to get fancy with. I never have had a studio or anything like that. So I just started with my iPhone, and I set it up on a tripod, and I didn't even have a proper way to stick my iPhone on the tripod. I had to use like that poster tacky stuff, and I had to I had to kind of MacGyver rig the iPhone under the tripod, and I just kind of hit the play button and started learning how to be comfortable in front of the video. And it took, there was lots of times I just kept hitting delete, do it again. But now I feel like I'm very comfortable, and I'm more myself, and I've upgraded my equipment, and it's added a lot. I get a lot of response on YouTube from my videos, and I've been able to take those videos and share them out on other, I guess they're called like ad networks, other channels that use your videos to advertise.
Oh, very nice.
Like Blinks is, I think they're an ad network. So they use my videos, and I get paid for that. All I have to do is share my content with them. So that's been really nice. That's been a big bonus I wasn't counting on. But
how did you get into that? How did you get into that advertising on those sites?
Well, Blinks is part of Burst Media. So I had a Burst Media account already for my skyscraper ads, and they saw that. They approached me. They saw that I had videos, because I was pulling my YouTube videos onto my blog, and then and of course I was advertising that on my homepage. So they saw that themselves, and they approached me and they said, "Hey, we've got this other ad network over here. We'd love to use your videos." And I said, "Okay." So okay, you can do that. So I get paid from that. But as far as like one-on-one and really getting to talk with other home cooks, I see a lot of interaction on YouTube itself. So I do post all those videos on Facebook, and that helps a lot. That stirs the pot, stirs the communication and stuff, gets people excited.
I love that. I think people love to be able to engage. Yeah. And it's like I think I told you before, I was always a little bit self-conscious about my Southern accent, but I just decided that it didn't matter. I was just going to get out there and do it, and people that liked that would like it, and those that didn't wouldn't. And, but the importance and engagement that I think video brings to a business is so important.
Yeah. I think it helps helps me to, even if it's just a short video, to talk, a short video where someone's just talking about themselves is a lot more helpful than when I'm at their website and I'm trying to figure out, what they're all about, because they have so much information, and it is tricky to be able to have a site that is up to date, and you're trying to sell your product, or you're trying to sell your services and all that kind of stuff, and you have what happens to you every day, but you have to remember there's somebody out there who's just come to your blog and they have no idea what's going on, and so like a short clip would be so valuable to say, hey, this is what I'm all about, and this is what I'm doing, and hey, click subscribe and come and join my newsletter, or something like that.
I love that. I love that people are embedding those little About Me videos on their pages, because oftentimes I find myself clicking on that and watching it versus reading their About Me page or About Us page.
Yeah, I have a lot more time to watch that video.
Me too. I love that. So let's just jump back for just a second. So you're a busy mom. You're a wife. You're a mom. You run a business. You run a blog. So how do you do, and you're homeschooling mom, how do you do all that? How do you keep up with 5 years of content and a family?
Well, okay, so I've learned the hard way how to do it, and I've said, okay, let's try an easier way. When I first started out, like I said, we started in the summertime, and I was able to produce content all the time. But when school started up, well, then I was trying to, put the two worlds together. And in my box thinking, I felt like I needed to be a full-time blogger and a full-time mom. So That doesn't work. So, I was like getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was trying to, do everything that I could before the kids got up, and then I'd switch hats and do the homeschool thing all day and switch hats and blog a little more, and then come up with something for dinner and then do the house thing. And that was hard. And I did it, but I hit a lot more pockets of like burnout. And so I said, okay, I've got to try another way to do this. And it doesn't, you can't, when you're trying to put 100% into everything that you do, the results aren't actually 100%. Something has to give, something suffers, and you end up not being good at all the things that you want to do. So for the last year and a half, I said, okay, let's not do that. Let's just be more reasonable. So I've decided when school is in session, I'm a full-time homeschool mom. And when I'm not in school, like Saturday mornings, when we're taking little breaks or whatever, I will, on Saturdays, I blog all day. That's my work day. So I'm more of a part-time blogger. And then like when we have breaks during the week or whatever, I will take that time and socialize on Facebook and on Twitter. And that's when I'm like, just making sure that everybody knows I'm still here. I'm just doing this and that. And that works out great because it shows everybody that I'm still here. I'm real, I'm a real person. So, but then when it's, Christmas time, we're on Christmas break, or it's summer, spring break or summertime, I'm back to being a full-time blogger. I mean, right now I'm just going to town and I'm doing everything I can. And now it's full-time, and I don't have to worry about the kids, and I don't have to feel bad that I'm not taking care of the kids.
Yeah, that's great, because I think women, especially, we struggle with that of how do I continue to be a good mom, and you want to do that. But, for me, I became a full-time stay-at-home mom 2 years ago, and I love it, but it's the most challenging thing I've ever done. And I really miss working. I really miss being creative. I miss that part of it. So being able to do those things on the side and know that you can be successful at both if you're not trying to kill yourself, that's just such great advice, because you do. I think you try and burn your candle at both ends, and it just doesn't work.
It doesn't last long, that's for sure.
It does not. So let's talk about, you do a lot of video. What about now Facebook, Twitter? You do Facebook, you do a little bit of Twitter.
Yeah, but Facebook's like my favorite place to hang out. And that's because I get a chance to get to know the people that are actually reading my blog. And, I get to see their kids and what they're eating or what they're thinking about. And it's just I feel better. I don't feel like if I want to, give them a lot of recipes, or I kind of get on a binge, and I just like have 10 recipes. I want to just throw them out on everybody. I don't feel like I'm spamming them or overwhelming them, because they know me and they see me all the time. So it's, I don't sell to them. I'm very respectful of their time and space, but I have a lot of fun talking food with people on Facebook. So it's my favorite place to hang out.
Now, when you do you have a list? Like, you have you build a list? You hear a lot of people saying the money is in building a list. So people subscribe via email? Do you have a newsletter or something?
Yep, I do have a newsletter, and I keep that newsletter up to date. And the way I work my newsletter is I have follow-ups. I love follow-ups.
Like follow-ups to your videos or recipes?
Well, so like, I have Aweber, so you can broadcast something one time, but you also have scheduled follow-ups. And so I have, when someone signs on to my newsletter, they go into a follow-up list, and they receive, I've chosen, 37 recipes, the best recipes, and they're already written out. And so that person goes through that queue. They get those recipes on a schedule. And then if I have anything new to announce, like a giveaway or product review, I'll broadcast that. But that may only be like once, or twice a month broadcasting. But the follow-ups are beautiful because I get to stay in touch with them, with my readers, but I'm not having to write a newsletter every week. They're already written for me. So, and I make sure that they're not time sensitive. Like, I don't do Christmas follow-ups or holiday follow-ups. It doesn't matter when someone signs up to my newsletter, when they do it. They're just getting great tasting recipes that work year round.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and I use that opportunity to, between the recipes, I will usually do like a cookbook reviews, which is a great opportunity to send people to my Amazon affiliates. And then I let Amazon do their magic with, turning us on to all sorts of books and do the selling for me. And that's great.
Now, do you have those Amazon affiliates linked on your website?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. And do you get quite a bit of business through there?
I get a healthy, steady stream. It seems to be like, I have a dollar amount that I seem to hit, all the time. And there's certain books that are like my best sellers that I will never remove the ad off my blog. And then the other ones, it just depends on the time of year. Like, when it's Christmas time, I make sure to put, cookie recipes and more baking book affiliate links, that type of thing. So I try to pay attention to the time of the year when I'm advertising to keep those things fresh. But yeah, and then I have items that they're year-round sellers, and I never remove the ads.
So all of these things, I'm sure you didn't know all of this starting out. So how did you learn about, so you had I know you have a super husband that does all of this stuff. He's like a web guy, so he knows all that. But yeah. What about like all the affiliate marketing and as far as the Amazon links and things like that? How did you get involved in that? How did you know to step out and do those things?
Well, I have to owe it's all to my husband's credit. Honestly, he's been my guide and my guru in this, and when he makes his whole life into helping people with their blogs, and so when he says to me, okay, if this is what you want to do, he'll ask me, where am I trying to go? What am I trying to achieve? And then I'm like, all right, here it is. And he says, okay, well, this is what you need to do. And just like a recipe, I follow it. If he says to do this, this, and this, well, that's what I've done. And so I followed along, and everything that he's, given me, has proved to be a success. It's like, okay.
Don't tell him.
Yeah. He's got the headphones on, so it's good. So that's, I have to owe it to my husband. I know that everybody doesn't have, a web developer for a husband, but they're always go to him. I'll share him, Yeah.
So. I'll actually link up their website below. I have used them for multiple things. They've developed a couple of websites for me. I've done some SEO training with them. So they're really great. So I'll link them up as well because they're really good teachers. But what I love is that you've taken those things and you've proven that those steps really work. What do you think is important for people to understand? A lot of people think I'm going to put this website up, post a few blog posts, and people are just going to come rushing in. And unfortunately, it really doesn't happen that way.
It doesn't work that way at all.
There's no rushing.
No, and if there was like some, fairy dust I could sprinkle on Google, it'd be great. If we had something where Google would just know every time we posted something, it would just be right at the top of the search engines. But I don't have any. It takes building a community. You have to work at promoting yourself, and don't be afraid. I have burned myself not promoting myself enough. I've been in situations where they say, hey, submit as many recipes as you'd like. And I'm thinking, well, I'll just submit 3. I don't want to be like a pig or anything. And turned out, that the person that submitted 20 got more press coverage than I did. And I'm thinking, well, why didn't I do that? So you can't be afraid to promote yourself or get in front of people, because that's the best way to get people to draw people in. The more people you can tell, they're going to tell their friends, and it's like the pyramid. They'll tell 6 friends, and so on and so forth. And encouraging people, reminding people to share. A lot of times I know I can do this. I'll read a great piece of information, and I'll go, oh, that's great, and I'll put it in my, I'll stick it behind my ear, and I'll go on my way, and I forget to subscribe or to share.
Sure.
I'm better today, but to just get in the habit of sharing that content, share what your fellow bloggers are doing, and it helps, because when you share something of theirs, they will share something of
Yeah, those are terrific points. I'm glad you brought that up again, because I think some people think, oh, I'm going to get into this field of, maybe it's blogging like you do about recipes, and I don't want to become friends with any of the other people that are doing the same thing because we're in competition. And that's just not it at all, because I think what I have found in the blogging world is that people really embrace each other. And like you said, you promote their stuff, they're going to promote your stuff. And I know that you're both doing the same thing, but you each have communities. So if
Yeah.
you share that with each community, that's how I think you get that ball rolling.
Yeah, exactly. And when you can do, I've been in situations where a fellow blogger is doing a giveaway and they want to do like a series of giveaways. And these are fun. So they've decided they're going to have a 10-day giveaway spree or something like that. Well, they'll go to the other bloggers and say, hey, do you have a product? Do you have an ebook or something that you would want to give away? And then, because I'll throw you in the hat. Well, for that 10-day giveaway spree, you're getting free, promotion from them because, hey, this is the next day. It's Jill's turn and she's given up a whole year subscription to blah, blah, blah magazine. And, that stuff is great. So when you can get, don't be afraid to connect up. There's really no competition because you might be all talking about food, but we don't all eat the same kind of food. So, but our readers do. So it's nice to be able to share each other's readership.
Yeah, that's great. I totally agree. And you brought up another point that I forgot to mention earlier is that you said you didn't promote yourself enough. We as women, especially, I think we're a little bit shy about tooting our own horn. Yeah. And I think you have to because no one else is going to.
Yeah, they don't know what you're doing until you tell them.
Toot away. Yeah, you have got to do that because I think it's important you've got to get it out there. People have to know that you're there and sharing that material. Now, switching gears just a little bit, one thing that I really love about you have a great looking site anyways, but I love all the beautiful photos. But my favorite thing about your photos is trying to go in and find your branding. So where you put your branding. So tell us a little bit about that because you're very creative at that and the story behind why you do it and the importance.
Okay. Well, I got started doing that right from the beginning because I recognize that we have spammers out there. And there's always going to be a spammer who wants to strip your site of your content, and you work hard for it, and you want to be, you want to be acknowledged for it. So I recognize that you can't stop all the spammers, but you can at least let everyone else know that's reading their site where they got their material. So, so it was really important for me to go ahead and just start watermarking my photography. And but then I saw the other ways that it could be done. A lot of people just kind of slap their name up there, and or they watermark it, or they do this like iStock photo thing, and it's like real big. And I thought, no, that really distracts from the food. I need people to know where the picture came from, but I don't need them to really notice it. So I just through Photoshop just started playing with that ability to stretch your text and flatten it and stuff, and I just started working it in like a Where's Waldo. I want my name there. I kind of just make it half transparent. And I have a friend who, Anne, she's so funny. She says the first thing she does when she looks at the recipes is she makes a game out of trying to find simpledailyrecipes.com on the plate before she goes to read. It's just funny. She thinks it's hilarious.
I do the same thing. And yesterday, I think I was looking at your blog and there was a picture of like almost a muffin cake cut in half. And I couldn't find it, so I was like looking within the food, trying to find it, and it wasn't there. So it might not have been your photo, but it was so funny because I saw myself just trying to find your branding, which I love and I think you're great at.
Thank you.
Let's talk about this. So you said when you first started out that you basically just used your iPhone. So I think that's important for people to know that you don't have to have a full-blown studio. The iPhone works perfectly.
Yes.
So you get some good lighting. Why don't you share with us how I know you've changed gears a little bit and you've got like a really nice camera now, but how did you use your iPhone and how easy is that?
Now for my just still photography, I use they don't even make these anymore. There's this little Casio point and shoot, and it has it has 6 megapixels, which at the time was like huge. And that's like nothing, but it's like my favorite camera. I own 3 of them. I've just I've dropped them and had to buy another and sent off to repair, and it's crazy. And now I have 3 of these. And that's what I use for all my still photography. And I don't have a studio. I have a window with the table in front of it. And that's it. That's my studio. But when it comes to the videos, I just use my iPhone. The iPhone they're genius. I love Apple. So, they have that, you have that ability to film yourself and you can see yourself. And so I just thought I'll use that. I had seen other vloggers do it, and I thought, well, and watched how they did it, and I said, okay, well, if they can do it, I can do it too. And so I just kind of went from there, and I still use my iPhone, even though I've upgraded my equipment. When I'm out and about or outside, or like I've gone, to farms to pick strawberries or something like that, I whip out my phone and I, create a blog, and it's, it still produces, the iPhones produce the HD quality video. So yeah, I don't really have to have a big camera to make a great quality film or great quality video, as long as I got my iPhone.
Yeah, I think that's great, because I think most people have some type of smartphone right now. A lot of people are using the iPhone, and it's there with you. The best camera I think that you have is the best camera is the one that you have with you, and to just use it. So I think getting us to stop being afraid of shooting a quick video. Yep. Is your hair going to be perfect? No, probably not, but that's okay. No. Is the lighting going to be perfect? Hopefully you'll get the best lighting that you can, but the most important thing is just getting started.
Yeah, just do it. The only thing I ever make sure I've got going on is that I have my lipstick on. That's it. I'm like, is my lipstick on? All right, my lips are good. I don't care if usually I have no other makeup on. I don't even wear any other makeup except lipstick. And so I've got my lipstick on, and then the sun's always in my face, so I'm giving up. That people just have to see me in my wrinkles, and then I just turn off the vanity and just focus on the value of what I have to share, making sure that, when I really respect the time that my readers give to me to share, to learn what I have to say. And so I figure if I've just got a little bit of time with them, then I'm trying to make it as valuable and as entertaining as I can. So
that's great.
Yeah.
That's really good. So I think you are in the process of creating your second ebook. So you have one already. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, my first one is called Vegetarian Dishes for Everyone. And my family, we love our vegetables. And now when I wrote this book, we were not vegetarians. So we are now, but we weren't at the time. But I wanted to have, I was trying to come up with a book that could get us all eating one or two more meatless dishes in our week, and I picked all of our favorites, all of my family favorites, and so we put it together, and Charlie helped me turn it into an iBook, and it's available for Kindle, and that was a lot of fun. I mean, it's a real short book, and it's like 99 cents, so there's no reason why you can't have it.
Go get it. Go get it.
Go get it. I tried to remove all the obstacles, and there's great pictures. There's a picture for every recipe, and so I'm really proud of that one, and I'm getting ready. I still have another month before this next one comes out, but this one is the complete opposite. This is all the best chicken, all the best beef, pork, all our best seafood, and like marinades and rubs and stuff like that. These are all the best recipes that the readers have told me are the best. And so I haven't settled on the title yet. It's kind of silly, but so I'm trying to work with, simple daily recipes, friends' favorites, or something like that.
Very nice.
So it's not my opinion, but the opinion of the readers. So
that's wonderful. Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
So listen, if you knew there was someone in your shoes that was just starting out how you were 5 years ago, and they were starting a blog or wanted to start a business and had a family, a busy life, what advice would you give them?
It's real important that you know what you want out of your website. Now, I'm focused on blogging, so if you know what your blog wants to do, then stay focused on that. Recognize that it's always kind of related to like a race, a race that doesn't have a finish line. You're just running along, and I always picture myself, kind of in this big old race, and there's people in front of me that have been doing it longer than I have. They got a couple of years ahead of me. They do stuff better than I do, and they're awesome. They got twice as many people as I do, and you know what? That's okay, because there's a whole bunch of people behind me that are just getting started, and they're where they're at, and I'm right in the middle. And I'm thinking, okay, just don't give up. Just keep going and keep at your pace, and don't try to be like anybody else except yourself. And I think that when I stay focused on that, I just need to be me. then there's no stress, and I'm not, it's a lot harder to try to be something you're not. And it's so much more relaxing and less overwhelming when you're just doing what you love to do. So if you stay focused on that, then it'll all come. The rest of it will come. Don't freak out that you have to learn everything at once, because I didn't. I just, you start with content, and then somewhere you get to the point you're like, okay, I got that down. All right, what's next? Okay, let's learn about affiliate links. All right, well, how you do that? Okay, you do that. And you just kind of like take one thing at a time, and before you know it, you're sitting here telling people how to do it.
Before you know it, you've been doing this for 5 years, and you're a recipe junkie. I mean, that's that you get.
I am addicted to blogging. I mean, I'll tell you, I never thought, and of course Charlie didn't even say, he couldn't even tell me that I would be so addicted to blogging. I cannot quit. I will not quit blogging. I'll be 90 years old and with arthritic fingers, and I'll be like, typing on my keyboard, because I won't quit. It's just too much fun.
You will have switched to vlogging by then. You'll just be doing everything video. You at the rest home.
That's it.
And figuring everything out.
In the kitchen with the help.
That's right. Telling the 20-year-old they're not doing that right.
That's right.
Hey, listen.
I'll tell him to log on to my channel. Let me show you what's done. This is how I did it 20 years ago.
I created that. Hey, if people wanted to hook up with you, where's the best place?
Well, I'm always on Facebook. You can always catch me on my blog. I'm everywhere. So you can always catch me on simpledailyrecipes.com or on my Facebook page, which is Facebook, simpledailyrecipes.com. And if you want to know, I've got everything in one place at about.me, Jill McKeever. So you can catch me there too. So
perfect.
Just all over.
Awesome. Well, this has been a pleasure. I love your site. I love what you do. You have anything? I know you get your second ebook coming up. Anything new happening with your site that we need to know about, or anything special coming up?
Well, we haven't got it posted yet, but we're working on this great new tool for SDR. Nobody else has it. It's an on-hand tool, and I just cannot wait till we get this posted. But so what it is, our on-hand tool is, let's just say that you have a whole bunch of zucchini and you have some chicken and you don't know what to do for dinner. So my tool, you'll be able to say, okay, I've got zucchini and chicken, and hit search, and it will pull up all the recipes that would involve those ingredients and give you a great idea of what you could do with those ingredients.
I love that. But see, I'm not, I do venture on the right side of my brain, but when I get over there for too long, I run back. So I'm not that creative. So sometimes I will have some things and go, what am I going to do with this? So that's wonderful.
Yeah, sometimes we just need to kind of, I know I get stuck in like the routine recipes, and I'm thinking sometimes you need to know that there's just one extra ingredient that you could throw in and change the whole dish. And here, everything will come right off. It'll all be pulled out of Simple Daily Recipes, and everything's family friendly there, so you don't have to worry about whether your kids are going to eat it or not. So it's all good.
That is terrific. Well, thank you again, Jill. This has been a pleasure. We'll link everything up below so people can check out your site, get your ebook, all those good things.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.